All right, guys. So, couple things. I figured I've had a few people ask a couple different things, but just a couple tips and tricks that I've learned. A couple ride command things, a couple non-ride command things. So the first thing is up here in the corner where it says what direction you're in. I think the standard setting is to just point you north, which when you go onto any of these trails, you can zoom in all you like, but it's pretty hard to tell left and right which way to go. So you come to the intersection of a road, it's telling you north. To me, I mean, maybe some people think it's easy, but if you just click this button, it'll take you to the actual. So say you want to go, let's see this, pick someplace I can know. So say you come to this intersection, you don't know left or right. Now once you click this button, your arrow will be pointing the direction you're actually headed, so you'll know left, right. You can always switch it back to whatever you want. So here's the other thing, is in rides and waypoints, click that. You'll have an eye. You can turn them on and off. So as you're riding, if you click them all on, or wherever you're at, if you've ridden someplace before, you can click them so on basically doesn't have the cross through it, and off has it cross through it. You can be cruising along and say, okay, I haven't been here before, but I have been whatever 5 miles this way, and you can actually tell where you have and haven't been, or you can have it overlap. Sometimes it's good, sometimes, I mean, like I said, it's something I kind of learned just not very long ago and thought maybe somebody else might get some use out of it. We went riding someplace and I was looking at my GPS on my phone. I was looking at the trail GPS on the ride command. Actually for our anniversary, we went north. I took just my wife and I. And so some were blacktop roads, some were actual trail roads. It was all legal route, but it was kind of hard to decipher everything out that way where we'd been. And there's so many trails in our area that it can get a little hard to remember where you've been. So if you click this to on, like it is now, you can say, oh, okay, I've been here before. Or if you want to ride someplace different, you can say, turn all of these to on, and then pick a place you've never been before. Because then it'll show every spot that you've ever traveled to will be in bright red. So any place you've traveled to will be in red, and then you can pick a place you've never been. So I thought that was kind of neat. So yeah, ride command. So right now we're currently at 2,724 miles. A couple other things. Door strikers. It's a love-hate thing. Love the doors. You have to adjust the daylights out of them to get them, so if you're riding it really hard or there's stutter bumps or a lot of rocks, whatever, that the doors will rattle sometimes, or oftentimes. A little bit of black electrical tape around the striker. Listen to how the door shuts. Still opens easy. Nice and quiet. It just firms it up a little bit. Makes it so you take that rattle away. A little bit more positive engagement. Engagement doesn't sound so... I mean, all the inside of this door is all aluminum, so it is just inherently going to rattle. It's an off-road machine. Sway bars. Had the sway bars out for a long time. Just kind of doing some testing. You can see I have a Zerk on each side of the front sway bar now. And I'll include a video on that. A couple people asked me, how was it with the sway bars out? The ride is incredible. All the squeak is gone. I don't know why they don't put a Zerk in the front of this thing right from the factory, but they don't. But either way, with both bars out, as long as you're not doing any super high-speed cornering, you're going to get body roll. That's inherent, this is going to happen. But the actual ride is just amazing. Way smoother. it's quieter, and there's no place you can't go. It won't lift a wheel. I mean, you got to be really doing some, well, you got to basically max out both sides of the travel. One wheel all the way up, one wheel all the way down. It takes quite a lot. The video that I just posted of our Midwest General ride. So it's sitting in the grass now, and the grass is a little long, but to the bottom of my plow bracket is 19 inches from the bottom to the ground on the concrete. 19 inches. I put the sway bars back in for that ride because I knew I'm not really sure how fast we're gonna go, but a lot of the trails are, you know, there's some gravel roads, there's a little bit of blacktop, there's, you know, rocks, there's a little bit of everything. And I really, really wished I would have had at least the front out for a couple of different rocky, more technical areas, just because it does so much better, it's so much smoother. But I put them both in, I re-greased them. The other thing to check on both sway bars, just another little tip, when you take them apart, and you just take those bolts out, and then you take your link out. When you take them apart, make sure you wipe them down good, and inside the tracks, I got a video of that too, inside of the plastic bushings, where the grease track is, where the grease is supposed to travel, I guess, it's all plugged up. And when it's all plugged up, guess how much grease goes around that bar? None. So clean those out every so often. I mean, like I said, this has got 2,700 miles on it. It's the second time I've done it now. Obviously I grease it like it's supposed to be greased, but when the grease doesn't go around the bar, you get squeaks, whether or not it's greased or whatever, because it's just going to squeeze out the side if it can't go through the grease track. All right, boys and girls, so something I've been talking about for a little bit, haven't really done yet, is the front sway bar. Why they didn't put grease zerks in it, I don't know. It's strange because the buckets are machined for accepting grease, both sides. As you can see, it's got a hole in it, and it has the slots for grease to follow along the bar. Sits on it like that. As it moves, thing squeaks like crazy if you don't take it off, grease it, put it back together, and in no time it's doing it again. So what I did, I guess it's a DIY. You could do this with a drill. I cheated a little bit because I have some buddies in the CNC world, machining world. So I took it to them and asked them to finish it off. All that had to be done, essentially, is drill the hole and thread it. Now I have grease zerks on my front bar. So I'm gonna put it together, and I assume that should fix all the squeaky problems in the front. The back has grease zerks. Like I said, I don't know why they didn't do the front. It's kind of a odd mystery, but few other things I have. My Force Turbo is here, so we'll be seeing some stuff on that very soon. I have a set of 5-foot RGB lights, lighted whips. I got an RGB 42-inch light bar, curved light bar. So I'll go into that in a little more detail. But right now I have a ride tomorrow, so I'm gonna put these sway bars both back in, and we'll see if it was worth my time. One other thing, the Razor 8 tender springs for 250 bucks, worth their weight in gold as far as a ride goes. Rear camera normally goes down in there, which is really only good for backing up trailers. Move it up here to the roof. It's literally like this bracket was meant to be there. I know they make other brackets if you want to change it a different way too. I'll just watch what's in the bed. You know, if I got stuff, coolers, whatever strapped in the bed, gas cans, whatever. When the kids are behind me on their wheelers, it's nice to be able to turn that on, not have to crane your neck or whatever the whole time. You can just be jamming to the radio and watching the boys behind you, boys, girls, whatever you got, other parts of your group. I found there's a few spots. We're coming up to the cold season again here in our part of the world. So what I've done is any place that there's some air gap with the doors, just buy this insulation, this foam roll that's sticky backed, fill in the spots as needed. Obviously I have the upper doors, and then Kevin made me this carpet kit, so that helps keep some of the hot and cold in. I do have Tyndall's dual fan setup I gotta install yet, but we're also going to be working on a full headliner. Kevin's kind of building a prototype right now, so I'm hoping that when the fans are in, we're still going to be able to mock up some sort of a, I don't want to say poor man's headliner, but not as rich-blooded as the factory Polaris stuff. One other thing is all the rivets, I'll show you quick, all the rivets that are underneath the hood here. I noticed that when I take mine out in the rain or get into a lot of water, that I'd get a whole bunch of rain, like would run down on top the amp and sub are like right here underneath the dash. So I put this rubber flap over this firewall grommet, thinking, well, it's got to be coming from there, but I don't want to seal it up because that's where your accessories have to go to your Polaris bus bar. So I did that, washed it, watched the rain's coming from, the water's coming from, could not figure it out. So what it ends up being is these plastic push pins just get sloppy. I've had, you know, fenders and doors and dash on this thing apart a million times. So I found on eBay or on Amazon some push pins that are slightly larger, and then I just put silicone around the hole, pushed them in and locked them. That seems to have taken care of, there's one underneath here too, I think. That seems to have taken care of any water that drips onto your feet, which was super annoying. Again, we know it's an off-road machine, but it's nice to be able to go out when it's raining, when you hit big puddles, and not be completely saturated all the time unless you really want to be. The other thing to seal up good is right here on the back side of your brake pedal. Obviously you have to go through your master cylinder from there with your rod. You can see the rubber boot that I put over it. Tons of cold air comes through there. Well, cold air, hot air, whatever. But in the wintertime here, when it's 10 degrees, I don't want to feel like cold air blowing up all inside the cab. So this is actually a cover for like a trailer bearing, like a bearing buddy cap, whatever you want to call it. So I just cut the inside of it out and slid it right over the shaft of that, and then siliconed it, and that's taking care of that cold. And then the other thing that I did pretty much all along here to help seal up my doors and keep rain and stuff out is just clear silicone around this cage, around my spike upper doors, any other place that you can think of that cold air may come in. Back here and up around this just a little bit. Just try and seal it up a little bit better. Again, wintertime is coming, so the other cool feature is the wiper. $50 I got invested, obviously some time, and I've done a video on it already, but every time it rains a little bit like it is now, or just being dusty, like where we ride at, the dust is real light. Flip the wiper on once, it clears the windshield off, and you can see again when it's sunny out and you're driving into the sun like we did this past weekend. It was horrendous, like we were blind. Turning the wiper on gets the dust off, makes it a little bit easier to be able to see. I have the Force Turbo in the garage for this pig. That'll be coming I got to finish installing that upper light bar from aux beam. I have 5-foot RGB lighted whips. This light bar is a 42-inch RGB, so it changes all different colors. So I'm going to finish that up. I'll have a video out on those things. If there's anything that you guys want to see or have questions about, just hit me up. I know this thing pretty well. Obviously, I don't do this for a living, but I've played with it quite a bit.